Hello everybody and welcome back. Lars here. It's time to go ahead and check out some Retro Cup. Now the Retro Cup, as far as this team is concerned, can be used in open, it can be used in retro, and so the versatility is really good. And we're going to start things off with little Pachirisu, as well as a few comments, a few questions, so we're going to read them off. And some of them are questions that I get asked a lot that I wanted to address now, and some of them are from you guys that, you leave a comment, and I'll be happy to answer it. And the first one's going to pop up here in a little bit, but for now, Pachirisu. It is electric, so it resists electric. However, we are both electric but have that water subtyping, so that means that electric is neutral to us. So be careful, although we end up killing each other. So can Medi ditch Psychic now that it got nerfed? And the answer is, it is all situational, folks. It all depends on what you're seeing, what your elo is, etc., etc. Medi with Power Up Punch and Psychic is still really good. It's still OP, although some people will be swayed to switch to Ice Punch as well as Dynamic Punch. It's still really good with Psychic and Pup. Trust me, it will be good. It'll still carry you and will do what you need it to do. So no worries. Don't don't lose too much sleep about that. Medi is still good, I promise. Go ahead and let this Clodsire do its thing at the cost of a little bit of health, but our energy still 100%, looking good. Throw this Psychic here, speaking of Psychic, and they opt not to shield. No worries. Throw up a shield of your own. There it goes. I bet you this Venu will not get a number 2, and it doesn't get that second Frenzy Plant. It's over, and that's that. Let's go ahead and mosey on over to the next battle and see what's cracking. So what do we have here? We have, and keep in mind, again, this is day number 2, so that means team comps, what we're going to be seeing is going to be a little different than what we're used to seeing, right? So here we go. Go ahead and quick switch immediately to Medicham. Throw that Ice Punch. You can do that by charging up Power Up Punch plus an extra fast move equals Ice Move Bait, right? So what other Pokemon can I use for a Lantern Pelipper core? This actually comes to us from Tobias. You can use a Gligar, so you can do an ABB with double flying in the back. So Lantern, Gligar, Pelipper, or you can use Skarmory for non-retro, of course, for Open Great League as well. So it becomes a Lantern double flying with Skarmory and Peli. So it's up to you. The nice thing about this team, as I mentioned at the very start of this video, is that the versatility is off the chain. You can put whatever, you can pick your poison, put it on in there, and chances are it will do a fairly decent job. Some Pokemon are better than others, but overall, it's a solid team. Lantern and Pelipper make a solid duo. So there it is, there we go. And we're gonna go ahead and call it a day, call it a victory, and check out the next video. So big thanks for that question. I appreciate it very much, Tobias. And let's see what we got here. We have a Lantern versus Dragonite. Now, there's a little trick with Dragonite that I use. You can charge up Thunderbolt, but you can also win by just charging up Surf, not even trying to bait, just throw the Surf. A lot of times, even though Shadow Dragonite is a glass cannon, people do not like to shield Surf with it because it resists Surf, but with Surf, you still win. You're both gonna use a shield, but you're still gonna win, right? So their opponent won't use a shield. You're gonna have to use a shield, but you're still gonna win. You're still gonna get that lead and go from there. So Pelipper does tank this Avalanche like so. Go ahead and return it with a Weather Ball, and they're gonna shield. So it becomes 1 shield versus 1 shield. They're bringing in Dugong. They are using an ABB team, which is very good choice. Although Power Up Punch with Medicham is a great counter to this. So can I still use a Shadow Victory Bell? A lot of people ask me this question, and the answer is yes, absolutely yes, you can use it. And I'll probably be using it a little bit later on in the season. But wherever there is Skarmory, the new number 1, it has taken over for poor Carbink as the number 1. So wherever there is Skarmory, there is Lantern and Carbink to be found. And whenever there's Lantern and Carbink to be found, there is a Victory Bell ready to slash through it. So be aware of that. There are plenty of Lanterns out there, as you can see from this team we put together. And so Victory Bell absolutely demolishes Lantern, no need to even shield. With Carbink, you do have to use 1 shield. But regardless, Victory Bell is still good, and I will probably integrate it a little bit later on this season once I see really how the wind's blowing, so to speak. So here we go. We have a Lantern versus an Altaria. Now, normally Altaria has the upper hand, but with them not shielding that Thunderbolt, the upper hand belongs to us. Shield that Moonblast and watch them switch to Victory Bell. Speak of the devil, right? So, with Pelipper, we can get 2 Weather Balls off. They can gain the lead by using 2 shields, and then they'll kill us. This person opts not to do that. But here comes a number 2 Weather Ball. They do not shield here, but again, had the situation been flipped, had we had Victory Bell, we could have gained the lead just like that at the cost of 2 shields. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to throw a Surf here, and they opt to use their last shield, no problem. They quick switch to a Shadow Quagsire, Clodsire's brother or cousin, whatever you want to say. And no worries, there's a Mud Bomb. The 3rd Mud Bomb will kill us, so be aware, although it is Shadow, so the Psychic is going to hurt. Ideally, they would have been able to kill us, and we would have been able to bring in our little Lantern and get a few little attacks off. But regardless, you know, it is what it is. There's a Sky Attack, and we're going to go ahead and throw a Surf and call it a day. There we go. So will you do a bad lead video? This is from Hawkeye, and absolutely, as I mentioned before, once the dust settles a little bit, we'll put together a bad lead video, especially for Open Great League. I'll show you what to do, how to do it, and how to come out on top. Thank you, Hawkeye, for that question. I appreciate it. And if you guys do have any questions, let me know. I will feature them. So here we go. Another mirror lead. So what do we do with mirror leads? Well, first we check and see what's under the hood. We see if they have a Water Gun or Spark Fast Attack. With Water Gun, we now have the lead or the upper hand because A, we resist water, and B, it has a much slower charge. But this is a true mirror match in that we both are using Spark. So go ahead, do our thing. It costs us a shield. But in the end, you know what? This is actually a video that we do lose. This was our only loss recorded for the day, which isn't that bad because, you know what? I will take a 4-1 flanked by 5-0s all day, every day, if only it was always like that. Although it is the start of the season, so you know what that's like, right? Go ahead, do our thing here, and I'll show you guys where I made that mistake. I shouldn't have charged that attack. Here we go. Big thank you to everybody who welcomed me back. I really do appreciate it. And it's been a long time. My grandma actually passed away. She was in hospice for about a month and a half. But yeah, she is gone. So here's what I should have done. I should have switched out to Medicham and had Medicham absorb that Dragon Claw. That way Pelipper would have been ready and set with a Weather Ball to finish things off. But it is what it is. You live and you learn. And there is a win for our opponent. They did a good job. Well done. They outplayed us. But we're going to go ahead and rank up to 7. And we're going to check out, see what we got coming up here down the pipe. All right, so couple more battles we have left. We have a Jellicent, which is a great lead for us. They go ahead. They switch to Quagsire, a non-Shadow Quagsire. So that means you can literally pick your poison. You can bring in Pelipper, you can bring in Medi, do whatever you want to do. Although, here's a little trick, little secret I like to use. We're going to go ahead and we're going to throw this Weather Ball here. They're going to shield. They are going to try to gain the lead. Tooth and Nail gain the lead. So they throw that Stone Edge. We're going to return it with another Weather Ball. They're going to shield. Keep in mind that Quagsire is a Mud Boy, which means it does not get stabbed. So same type attack bonus. It does not get for Stone Edge. So we can squeak out one last little Weather Ball and gain the lead. It's still, well, it's 0 shields versus 0 shields, but that Jellicent wants absolutely nothing to do with little old Lantern. They're going to throw a Shadow Ball, but no problem. Lantern is much tankier than Pelipper. So throw this Thunderbolt and then do one little quick boop, and there goes Jellicent. What do we got left? We have an Altaria. So a little bit of quick thinking here. Throw in Medicham and trying to, crunch all the numbers in our head. They're going to go ahead, throw a Sky Attack, and then we're going to throw a Psychic. And we don't get the defense break, but never ever expect it. It's a nice little treat, but it only happens like 10% of the time. So never expect it. They don't have enough time, so they have to throw a Sky Attack with a little bit of HP left. We go ahead and we take care of business. We throw the Thunderbolt, and that is that. That battle was mostly luck, I must concede, but still, it was a fun battle. Well done to our opponent. And let's go ahead and let's check out the next one. I believe this is the second to last battle for the day. And what do we have here? We have a Talonflame. And guys, please keep in mind, when you see any sort of Lickitung safe swap, you want to be greedy and you want to go ahead, charge up that Psychic and throw Power Up Punch. And the reason why is Medicham has to use a shield regardless of what you do versus a Lickitung because they're going to get 2 body slams off, right? So you might as well be greedy and force them, or at least try to bait them into using one. And you can do that by charging up Psychic, but throwing Power Up Punch. Most of the time they will shield because again, they will get greedy. They will see the disparity between your HP and theirs. And so they'll shield thinking it's a Psychic, and lo, it's a Power Up Punch. So there it is. What do we got here? Lantern v Lantern. They use their last shield. We can totally tank a Thunderbolt. So they try to bait us with a Surf. They quit. That's that. Big thank you to our opponent. A lot of people early in the season will just sort of drag the battles out. I cannot tell you back in the day how many Basti Skarmory battles I would have when last Pokemons are Basti versus Skarmory, and they would not quit, right? So here we go. Another Altaria. Altaria is hot. It is on fire. It is really popular at the start of the season. We're going to answer with a Thunderbolt. They do not shield. Now that means we are definitely going to shield here. And our opponent actually throws a Dazzling Gleam. Keep in mind, folks, that if you are running Altaria, Sky Attack and Moonblast are the preferred charge moves. But it is early. People are still kind of getting a feel for their Pokemon, what they want to use. But if you do decide to run Altaria, and there's nothing wrong with running Altaria, I would strongly suggest using Sky Attack and Moonblast. So here we go. We have a big old Fire Chicken Talonflame. Go ahead, throw that Weather Ball. They choose to use their last shield. We're going to use a shield as well. I had a feeling it would be a Brave Bird, and it panned out. So here we go. We're going to go ahead, charge up, and use those Weather Balls, right? Use them like crazy. Here comes another one. And they're going to do their thing. They're going to go ahead and use an Ice Beam, no problem. We're going to bring in Medi here. And with Medi, we are just going to, well, there's a Surf. We're going to let them throw one more Surf at the cost of gaining energy. It's always better, especially when you don't have any shields and your opponent doesn't have any shields, to gain that energy. So here we go. Let's go ahead. Let's throw this Psychic and let's get one more off. I want to thank y'all for watching, and if you have any questions, comments, and as always, please make sure to subscribe. And with that, have a great day.